What is happening, y'all? Welcome on back. Time to continue on, and we are making our way to wrap up Liurnia. Now, when I say wrap up, I mean pretty much everything here. I do want to point out there's one area that we can't go right now, and that is over here. So even though we went to the village of the Albinurics, you probably see like, hey, there's a structure there and a structure there, and you know, clearly a tower or something. That's an area we access significantly later in the game, and it's actually tied to the quest with Ronnie, which is in this area that up here that we haven't gone to that we're saving. So those two areas are still to come, but beyond them we'll have finished up everything else we can in this region. So we are starting from right here. This is the East Raya Lucaria gate. For those that don't remember how to get here, the easiest way probably is right by the mausoleum here. There should be an airlift and you can jump right up and hit the grace. Now to start, there is a Knight Rider here. Now this is the same Knight Rider that gave us my lovely glaive that I absolutely adore. But if you don't have that yet, make sure you go ahead and kill the Knight Rider. You'll get the glaive. You'll also get a weapon art. So marking a couple things up, we have the Bellum Church, which should be here. After that, we're going to be teleporting a little bit. We're going to be heading kind of towards the lift and right. It's like here-ish. And here-ish. There's going to be a camp. We're going to be going in and getting some loot. But for now, let's just head on over here and we'll get that first. So let's mount on up and we'll go to our number 1. You want to kill these knights to farm their armor. That's, of course, something you can do in your spare time. Ooh, man. Getting spicy. Any rune fragments up here? No. I always like to run on top of the ruins because those rune fragments can be used to make your shiny little stones, and those are always good to have. Alright. So go ahead and hit that grace. I'm going to go on over here and grab a sacred tear. Now, real fast, now that we have this grace, we're actually going to travel back over to here, Gate Town Bridge. You may remember this is where we fought another Knight Rider. But go ahead and head on over there, and we are going to advance the quest line of the legendary Grape Lady. Now, as a reminder, there's a couple places you're going to meet her. This should be the 3rd spot. Just to recap, the first one is like right outside. Basically, as soon as you come out here, Lake Facing Cliff, she should be there. We give her a grape. That first grape you should have found like inside this place, basically going from Godric over to here. The second time we're going to find her is going to be right over here, just west of the Purified Ruins. The grape we give her is in the Purified Ruins. Now this third time, she's going to be right here at the Gate Town Bridge. And the third grape we got from killing Edgar. Edgar we either killed after Morn Castle, or he would have invaded you at Revenger's Shack. Regardless of which of those circumstances happened, you should have your third grape. So go ahead and talk to her.
Hello, would you donate them on a pill and when I eat? Oh, now I can feel that aside. Delectably, what a sight they must be to behold.
Go on and tell her that they're human eyes.
Not all of those pieces, those noises. Sorry, don't mind me.
Now we walk away a little bit. Yeah, pleasant, isn't it? So let her just go through that. Go, you know, get it out your system.
I apologize. I'll be fine.
And then keep going through it.
I apologize. I'll be fine.
I'm gonna rest real fast to refast, because there should be a, you know, I now see I will become a finger maiden.
I've gleaned something. The reason the distant so faint it can't go with everyone's finally. I'm certain now.
So once you get that, the I'm certain now I will be a finger maiden, that's the piece of dialogue we wanted. From there, we're going to head back over to Bellum Church, and she will now be here, which is the 4th spot of her quest.
Oh, have you ever heard there? So
she's going to talk about how she wants the fingerprint grape. We're going to be getting one of those this episode. But we can go ahead and talk to her first. So from here, we're going to be heading to those next 2 marks we made, 2 and 3. And that's just the camp, and just kind of run in that general direction. There's a couple things out here that you're going to see that are kind of annoying, you know, ballistas and whatnot. So just try your best to kind of run through it. You can try and go up the side. This way is a little bit safer. Go this way and then kind of hop down into all that stuff. And this is actually where we're going to be going a little bit, is up this hill. But first, we're going to get on into the camp. Just trying to find a nice entry point. There we go. Okay. Go on and grab this. It's the Grape mace, big old heavy mace. Okay, and then there should be some cuckoo glintstones over here, which are, you know, pointless, but whatever. Maybe you can use them at some point. Where are my cuckoo glintstones at? There they are. Okay. And now we're actually going to be heading up those cliffs, but if we go back this way, how to take the path we did, there's actually a rune arc over there that I wrote about. See a rune arc on the right side and the camp and a cuckoo glint. And then head up the cliff. So we'll just run over this way. Believe that is our rune arc. There we go. And now let's just get on that cliff. No, I had the wrong flask on. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and kill these markers. So this next part, we're just going to be running around this cliff, and we want to get over right around to here. Now this is the Frenzy Tower. We're going to be aiming for this spot. Right around here, there's a Grace. Now the Frenzy Tower is going to be pretty obnoxious, and this will be your first real, I mean, you might have encountered a Frenzy enemy or two at this point, but this will be the first time you, like, really have to deal with them. If the bar fills up, you're going to take some damage, it's going to drain your FP, and probably the most dangerous thing is it actually locks you in place for a little bit, so it's a very popular PvP, because you get Frenzy off, and I mean, you're locked in place long enough that someone can get up, like, a charged heavy attack on you. Very scary. So we just want to run towards this tower, and you'll see basically this thing is like the Eye of Sauron up there. So just keep going. You can grab some stuff if you want. I mean, your Frenzy's probably going to proc a few times. And as long as you get under it, you can see now we're safe, even though it's right above us. Burn bolt. And it might get us, but we're almost out of Grace anyway, so... Alright. Okay, so we want to wait until it calms down. And then we're going to rush. We need to get to that tower, and even if it builds a little bit on us, it's okay. Okay, right here we're safe. See, inside the tower here, I'm safe against it, so. I'm gonna head on up and get this chest. Hallow Suburiri is an interesting spell. It's like an AoE around you, and it will cause a lot of frenzy buildup on the target, but it's going to be like a PvP only thing. Once all these dudes are dead, the eye will fade. Now we don't have to worry about it anymore. But it's interesting. I mean, if you can catch somebody unaware with it, you can do some serious damage. But it's definitely one of those things that, like, once you use it once, you're probably not going to get it off again. Because people are going to see you're doing it, and they're just going to back up and be like, no, I'm not walking near you. So, sadly, there's quite a few things like that that are, like, really cool, but they're kind of pointless. And especially because you can't inflict madness on bosses and stuff. So, you know, unfortunately, Frenzy, the whole like lock them in place, and it's a PvP thing. But anyway, from here, we're just going to go southwest. This is the Frenzied village, and you can kind of see it on the map right here. I'm just going to head right on into there. There's going to be a note on the left, a cookbook in the middle, and a talisman, the Woe Shabriri, over near the knights. There's the note, and you can read that for a little bit of lore. It doesn't matter, though. There's the cookbook, which will allow you to make boluses that will shut down Frenzy, I believe. And all the knights. Gotta love Hoarfrost Stomp, man. Just boom, 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 boom. That thing we just picked up, Lord Sworn Straight Sword. It's actually one of the best straight swords in the game. Really, really solid weapon. Just in terms of like stats, it's low investment. You can customize it with any art you want. It's basically a longsword, but just better. Alright, so now we're gonna head on up to the church for an invasion against Vike. This is probably gonna be one of the more challenging invaders you have fought up until this point. Now, a couple people have been running into a bug with this, where they'll go on over here and Vike won't spawn. I haven't encountered that myself. My understanding is that if you do the Frenzied Village and come up here before encountering the Maiden, I think that may be the trigger. But if you've been following this guide from step 1, he should invade just how he is right now. So this guy can be pretty dangerous. His spear can do a lot of Frenzy buildup. This spear's weapon art is very dangerous, and he also has some madness spells. As you can see, just one hit there. And like I said, Frenzy builds up on your character. It's going to lock you in place, and he'll probably get a kill, so... That's the Howl of Shabriri. There we go. He does have flasks, so just be aware you can get off a heal. But, you know, as long as you're aggressive, get a little bit of poking in, you should take him down with no issue. Now, his War Spear, this is actually a really cool weapon. Even though the madness isn't going to really work in PvE, this actually has a really badass weapon art. You, like, jump up into the air and then thrust the spear down, and, like, a pattern of Frenzy will basically run on out and, you know, go all over the ground. It's going to still cause damage in PvE. You're just not going to get that actual Frenzy proc on bosses. But definitely one of the more dangerous things that can be encountered in PvP. You know, somebody invades with that spear. It's one of those like, oh shit, here we go type moments, because you know what they're going to be trying to do. So anyway, now that we got that, we're going to jump back on over to Bellum Church. And you can use these Sacred Tears whenever. I'll probably use them before we leave this place. Picked up one at Bellum and one over there. Let's see, do I have any... Nope, not enough seeds. It's okay. So we've used our flasks up. +7. Go on and talk to her.
Specialties. Without one. Oh, a fingerprint. Thank you. May the blessing... Thank you. I'm sure I'll be a finger maiden. Thank you.
Okay, we got the I'm sure I'll be a finger maiden. So for now, her quest is effectively done. Now we're going to encounter her again significantly later in the game, like Sewers of the Capital, which, just for perspective, after this area, we go over here, we do some downward areas, and then we make it into the capital. So we're not going to see her for a lot of episodes, but her quest is basically done. The next time we see her, she's just going to give us some cool stuff. She'll be a maiden, all that jazz. But so you have completed the quest of Grape Lady. All you got to do is get to her final spot. But from here, head back to the Church of Inhibition. Okay, and we are going to be aiming for, like, well, we're going to be going south. There should be a shiny ball, and then we're going to be aiming for this rampart, and we're going to be running along that. So we got to get the shiny ball first. You should be able to hear it as we get a little close. rats. Leave me alone. Oh my god! See, this is what, see how madness locked me in place there? Oh, it's terrifying. Alright, with that threat removed, you'll notice we picked up a spell called Frenzied Burst. Super, super useful spell in both PvE and PvP. For faith people, for people using incantations, consider it your snipe spell. You can attack targets from maximum range with this, so very, very long distance on it. And the damage on it's actually pretty solid as well. So I really like that to catch people that are trying to run from me in PvP. And then in PvE, it just gives you a extra long range attack, you know, like literally as far as you can, you know, like from all the way back here, it'll connect. And you can charge it up and it can do some big damage. So super, super useful spell all around. But yeah, on the rampart, get the stone sword key. There's a bunch of rats over there. So drop down. Not again, frenzy rats. Hey, someone in the FightinCowboy group just became a lord. Go out there and get it, king or queen, whoever you are. So I'll pick up the Ivy log. It's a crafting thing. And then we're just going to kind of run alongside these battlements. We're going to stay up top here. That's just a cerulean flask one, so you don't need to go on down and kill it at all. Grabbing some goodies. We're gonna get on down and fight that Erdtree Guardian. Now there's a bunch of dudes over here that are like stomping and praying. We can largely ignore them by fighting this over here from the back. I got my fire grease on. And them big old booty stomps. Taken out, we should get magic, lightning, and holy shrouding cracked tier, which we'll look at those in just a second. From here, we're going to warp back over to the Frenzied Flame Village outskirts. We're going to be heading along to the east. Just to show off those new tiers real fast. And see, we can boost the attack damage. And this is particularly useful for some builds, but it is limited in use. Like for a magic build, the idea is you would take this right at the start of a boss fight, and it's going to give you a big boost to your magic damage. Same if you're using lots of lightning attacks or holy attacks. So they are situational, but they can, especially in synergies with some other things. There's one we get later that'll give us infinite FP for about 10 seconds. So that's a very common flask for casters. The idea is you pop your flask and then you have like lightning increase and infinite FP in the first 10 seconds of the fight. You're just dumping out your big spells. So now we're going to swing on over to here though. There's a tower over there. So just out east. We do got to go around a cliff to get to it, so you can interact with this if you want. It's just going to point to a catacomb that we're going to be going to in a little bit. You can kill this dude if you want. It doesn't really matter. Just hanging out. I guess he's like the guardian of the tower, but you don't have to kill him. So you'll remember how I said that we would need the erudition emote in a little bit. We need that along with one of our BK masks. So it doesn't matter which you want, just pick one, put it on. And then we're gonna go on over to here, and we're gonna pick out the erudition emote. Where is it at? There it is. So go ahead and use that with your Burger King mask on. You'll see how the helm lights up. And with that, the seal has been opened, and we can proceed. There's going to be a multi-headed sorcerer ball or whatever once we get up top. Kill this pretty easily. I just beat it down. Shouldn't really be able to do much. And from there, we're going to head on up the tower. We have the Cannon and Gavel of Haima. These are actually pretty cool spells. The Gavel is really nice for like a spell sword type build. You're gonna summon up this magical gavel and you can hit it twice. Very nice AoE on it. It can pancake players. A little bit iffy to get off. So like I said, spell sword move, because if you're just a straight caster, you're gonna get booped trying to use it. But if you have enough armor and some poise, you can definitely pull it off and flatten players. Cannon, on the other hand, is awesome on pretty much any caster build. It's just gonna shoot out a massive, massive AoE. Can really catch players, especially if you're like, you know, if you're playing and, you know, whether you're the invader or the invadee, and someone kind of runs into, I know I can get down on that side. I've never tried getting down on this side. Oh, wow, that's the first time for everything. But basically, it's good to like shoot into doorways, because you pop that into a doorway and it's going to be a massive AoE. It's going to do a bunch of damage. And it usually does a really good job at catching people. And yeah, this area looks real sketchy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to risk it. Piece of candy. I think I can circle back around the tower. No, we cannot. All right. Well, I know I can get down on the other side. I guess I'll try getting down on this side. In particular, I usually use, where is it at? That set right there works just fine, but we don't have that. That looks like it's not going to work. This one might work. Oh no. Oh no. I mean, it might have worked if I didn't miss and fall. That's okay though. You know, sometimes it just happens like that. Thankfully, it's not exactly a hard run to get back over there. You know, no real enemies that are a threat. That's actually true for a lot of these. All these spots where you need to hop down gravestones. Very rarely is it ever in a spot where it's like, good luck getting back your runes, idiot. You're dead now. Like, for the most part, you get into areas like these and you can just go straight back and get your runes. You know, there's no real threats to you. Okay, there we go. Now I'm gonna go over here. You can kill this dude if you want, or not. It doesn't matter. He's just there. He's supposed to be like, you know, guardian of the catacombs or something, but you can just like walk right past him. I'm gonna hit this. Are you really gonna make me kill you? I know, it's very similar to the Headless Knight summon that we have. I guess it's worth mentioning that his sword does have death on it. If you get hit like 4 times, it'll build up death and kill you, but you know, if you're gonna hit 4 times, you're probably dead anyway. But so this is a Skelly Catacomb, so as always with Skelly Catacombs, you're going to want to pull on out your Sacred Boy. I might be able to actually change the scaling on that since I'm more strength. Let me see if I can squeeze some more damage out of that. And I'm gonna get rid of some of the other weapons. Okay, so we got our sacred weapon. Of course, you don't need a sacred weapon, but it just makes it easier when you can just hit the skelly and they're dead instead of having to like hit them and then wait and then hit them again. So this is going to be the main boss. There's actually 2 bosses in here. Make sure you pick up all the grave stuff as we continue through. This door, if you open it, there's something called the Rossus Axe. I'll let y'all decide if you want to get the Rossus Axe or not. It is a strength int axe, and it will summon up skellies. So when you, the weapon art of it, what it's going to do is it's going to summon up 3 separate skeletons, like one on the left, one on the right, and one behind, and they're all going to swing and hit a target. In general, it's not very good. I mean, it's okay, but I don't think of it as a very good weapon art, just because it's very easy for stuff to just, you know, dodge. So if y'all want the Rossus Axe, go for it. I'm just gonna save my my Stoneward keys. So kill them. Let me grab this, and then we're gonna ride this thing up and jump. These guys are kind of like summoners. It's weird, because you can permanently kill the skellies, but you kill the skellies, you kill that guy, a lot of the skellies will die. So yeah, once again, just wait for one of these things to go down. Doesn't matter if it's that one or that one, and you just climb on top of it and you ride it on up. Okay, I believe that's it for the skellies. So now we're going to switch back to our main weapon. Oh, we'll keep this on for a little bit later. Oh no, one more skelly. Oh, there's a hole right here. Don't go down it just yet. And see, even without a sacred weapon, it's pretty easy to take these things out. Alright, here we have a false wall. I want to open that up. And this is the first boss fight of this area. Now this is going to be a black knife. Black knives can be pretty tricky. They have a grab attack that is not fun to deal with. My best advice here is honestly, you just got to be cautious, be aggressive. Don't let this thing have space to get away. It's going to jump around a bunch. Watch out for the grab attack it'll try and do. You also can't bring a summon into this fight, so it's something to be aware of. Taking him on out, though, we get the Cerulean, which, similar to the Crimson, this one will restore FP on critical hits. But more importantly, we got a key item that we need. Well, we don't need it, but the key item ties into a quest. Now, you can obviously teleport away here, but we're not going to. There's still more to this place. We haven't killed the main boss here. We just killed the side boss. So now we're going to take this hole on down. And once you land, hit this lever. This will open up the path to the main boss. I'm going to grab this. Go ahead and hit this. There's going to be some big old crabs that pop out. You're already seeing them. Trying to lure the crab on over to me. There's one more crab here. He'll pop up over on this side. Where are you at, Mr. Crab? Grab the rune art. And that's the only like item down here, but as you've seen, there's a couple like things like this, like the Grape Glovewort. So just make sure you grab any of those that you see. There's some Grape Violet. And we'll take this on out. Alright. Got more Grape Glovewort. And you can see we are right back to this spot. So this time we're just going to run on through. You know, obviously time it so that you don't get these things falling on top of you. Well, we just head on back, and now we go to the real boss of this place, which is the Cemetery Shade. Now, the Cemetery Shade is a major pain in the ass, which actually we're gonna rest before we fight him. This fight has a bunch of skellies, so the Cemetery Shade is like moving and juking and teleporting around, and then on top of him we have a bunch of skeletons in the fight. I think early on this is probably one of the harder ones. I'm actually going to, just to kill these skellies good and quick, I'm gonna Sacred Blade on my Knight Rider. The best bet here is going to be use your summons to distract this guy, and then while the summons have him distracted, you should either rush him down, or to be extra safe, you can kill all the skellies real fast and then focus him, which is the strategy I'm going to be going for. See, and that's the reason why this fight sucks. Look at all these. Look at this. Is this not an excellent flavor of bullshit or what? That little thing he does will lock you in place. Alright, so our Skelly distraction strategy worked out great. The thing is, that guy, he's not very tanky. It's just the fact that he goops you, which locks you down, and then after gooping you, he'll you know, run on in and grab you, and then the skeletons are, it's just a lot of BS, you know. So from here, we are done with the Catacomb. And let me check our notes. We got Yarburg, the church, and the study hall still. Okay, so yeah, we're probably at a good spot to wrap on this episode. There's a couple different things we're going to do. We're going to actually start the next episode from the round table. So head on back there for now, and I'll catch you all in a little bit with the next part.